My name is Loretta J. Scott. I've lived here all my life.
I knew that someone was watching over me. I knew that it was something somewhere because I'm a survivor.
Being a two-time tornado survivor, the way we survived the April 11th tornado was I opened the door and I saw the tornado coming. When I saw it, and I kept trying to get Ron up because he didn't respond. And I said, Ron, get up and come on, let's go get in the bath, get in the tub, take shelter. And he said, huh? And I said, get up. And by the time we got to the bathtub and got the pillows and got in the bathtub, it felt like it was like somebody it clawed the whole roof off, and a tree fell back toward us where the bathtub was, and we survived it. And you know, it was the most terrifying sound of clawing. It was amazing just how God is, how we just, you know, he had his arms around us. I mean, he didn't have us in his hands. I mean, he had his arms around us, because when I looked at, I could have swore I saw the face of God. I just didn't realize how much we were loved. And the greatest gift that I could have gotten as an award was, I love my city. My city loves me for being a positive role model. And I never imagined that the work that you do is remembered. I'm Loretta Scott, and I am a caregiver. And I take care of my son, Ronricus. It's not my mom and not my dad. It is my child.
A caregiver is one that takes care of another, and one that has to love that person. It has a connection there, because if you have any ill feelings toward it, you can't do this. So when you say caregiver, that is one of the most profound professions anyone could take on as an endeavor. I'm a professional caregiver, and I think it's the way I look at things, the way I look at it, my attitude toward it. I have a book on my table that says, God changed my attitude. So your attitude is going to determine your aptitude, especially in taking care of a person.
Like I said, I don't have the glycerina, so this chocolate milk will help.
You can't take care of anybody else if you're not healthy. And a lot of times, the person that you're taking care of, I let them know, I didn't put you here, but I'm here for you. So we need to become a team instead of, you know, you're the main thing here. It's a 24/7 job. It's not 3 days today and 5 days, 4 days tomorrow. It's not a 3/4 situation. So I made the choice. I gave up a career. I gave up many things, and I gave it out of love.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Caregiving Doctor Show. I am your host, Dr. Clarissa Fell Smith, and I am excited about today. I'm so excited that I'm smiling already, okay? With me today is Miss Senior, Jefferson County 2015, Loretta J. Scott. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for being here today on my show. I couldn't wait. I didn't get a wink of sleep.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
I need to hear about your life, and I want you to share with the audience who you are. How did you get into the pageant? What are some of your hobbies? You've had a full life of activity, and you've had some tragedy recently as well. But who are you?
My name is Loretta J. Scott. I think you said that part. And I'm from Thomaston, Alabama. That's where I was born. And in Marengo County, we moved to Birmingham, Alabama. And that's where I was raised, there in Inslee, Sherman Heights, and Shady Side. I'm from Inslee. So attended Jackson Olin High School, which is Western in my day, Western Olin. I had to give that shout out, to it. And I've lived here all my life. I've maybe traveled one or two places, but being a caregiver, as I am now.
So you're a caregiver?
Too, yes.
Caring for someone in your family?
Well, it started many years ago, my family. My mother was a juvenile diabetic, and she was the mother of 14 kids, and I'm the oldest. So it threw me into a position of having to take care of them, and I raised 6 of them, and I raised 6. And I had to take care of her because she had no juvenile diabetes, additional pancreas. So she stayed quite ill. And it threw me into a survival mode. And I think I found out about God before I knew the word of Jesus, because I knew there were angels.
But caregiving to do that.
Caregiving, right. And then she had brain damage. And after that, from a car accident, I took care of her for 14 years. Now I'm a caregiver. And it's with my son, which has a anoxic brain head injury, and he was on dialysis, and I'm a home hemotechnician dialysis. So my life has been full with my family as a caregiver. But through it all, the thing is that a lot of times it's not you. It's not your responsibility. Okay. And I found out at an early age I had a choice. There were minutes when I didn't. But I thank God for that. And that's the only way I got to be 64, be 65 May 1st.
64, you're looking great. You're looking
Thank
great. You won that contest.
Yeah.
Tell me about that contest. I mean, how old do you have to be, first of all, to enter the contest, at least?
You normally have to be 60 years old to enter the contest, 60 and above, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I was 63, and I won it on my birthday. May 1st.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be April the 30th this year. But it was a rebirth. It was a principle of saying that throughout all the storms, throughout everything, you can achieve this. You got to get you back. We get lost. Mm-hmm. And I'm so grateful for your show. So grateful for the Office of Senior Citizen and their programs, because if I had not entered into it in 2008 and being a grandparent and in the grandparent program, I don't think that I would be where I am today if it was not for people with your information and the agencies and people that help us.
Now I know why you won, right?
Yes, I guess.
Talk about your experience and your talent. I think you have many talents.
My experience was, this was the 3rd time trying to run for Miss Senior.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes. The first time my son received a kidney, and I couldn't. The second time we had complications with the kidney. And the 3rd time was January 1st. I broke my ankle in 3 places.
No way.
I said, okay, Lord, we can deal with this. I know you got this. I'm going on, wheelchair, everything. It's going to get well by then. So having a positive outlook, it was challenging. But meeting different people from walks of life, with them that have gone through things. My track record is long with 6 children, being the mother of them. And it was just renewing. It's like a rebirth. And I felt that for all women of my age and all that have challenged. And I will share with you, my children don't call me grandma.
Okay.
It's grandmama.
Grandmama.
Or grand old lady. That's right.
You allow that?
Yes, I'm old. They need to see that they're going to get here too, and they need to be in Christ, on it, and handling.
Well, speaking of that, what are you thinking about our youth today, our young people today? Just give me a short version.
Short version.
Okay, I mean, do we have work to do? Do you think we're respecting our elders? Do you think we can continue to pour into them and maybe encourage them and become more involved in their lives? What is something that you would do if you had to really speak to young people today? What is something you would tell them?
One of the things that I would say is our young people are tangible, quick fix. They want everything right then. And to share our experiences with them with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, patience. Yes. And one of the keys that my mother passed on to me was edification. I would edify, and she also always looked for the good inside of the bad, inside of the storm. Look for that good, because as sure as there is much bad, there is good, and there's a purpose for all things that are done for the good of the Lord. We love. So I would say to them, by me being a dance, teaching dance, music, theater, the multiple disciplines of the arts, is to reach into that area and, channel that hostility, channel that, to get them more involved in the church and their programs with youth, to develop those type of programs. But I would truly say, and I must share this example with one of my nieces. She was angry, and I took her back to the church. I said, take this ball, and I want you to bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. And anything comes from you, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. And then she's got a scholarship in basketball. Right. Because they need to be taught, or we need to take their hands. And if you really want to hear what I think and say, we need to take off our high heels, three-piece suits, and say, hey, what can I do to help you, baby? Get involved personally, one-on-one. Time. You got to time, energy, space. You got to get in their space, but you have to be tangible or credible. And I've got to know that when I punch this like the video game, hey, I know you're going to regulate like that video game.
Well, you're about to dance now.
Yeah,
speaking of, look, you're about to dance right now. I'm sorry. Hey, look, your talent for the competition was what?
My talent was, my talent was interpretive modern ballet.
Okay.
And it was done by Sandy Patty's How Great Thou Art. Okay. And I performed to it, and that's what my talent was. It was dance, modern ballet. That's what I teach.
You have many talents.
Yes.
Can you share with us just a few? I read the list. There were about 15 on there. Can you share some things that you've done?
That's only because my track record is long with 6 children. Okay. And with that many children, you have to be active. You have to be moving. And one of them is I sing, I dance, I act. I'm multi-talented. I think Debbie Allen had a show one time where she was trying to pull together all the multi-talented people. And you do get lost, but you have to find an area of concentration. And you develop the others, but you concentrate in that.
That's good. Say that again. Say that again for all of us who are multi-talented. Say it again.
We are multi-talented. In other words, the key to that is God has given us many gifts, but He's given some more gifts than others. So it is important to hone one of the crafts. I may not be saying it the same way, and to develop the others, to be there. But to specialize in the one that you feel more comfortable in serving the Lord with is what I do. And that's because it's a healing process for me from my cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a stroke survivor. And these things have been dancing, although I sing when I dance and I act when I dance and I do musical theater. These are healing processes for me. And the health and healing ministry is what reason why I do those things. And I think that our children need healing. And healing them through the arts and through the ministry of the arts, the spiritual arts, holistic arts, gives them another point of view than do the arts. My tutu, no, it's a beneficial for success, for a better me, to make me sustain myself as I go through life. To become 65 May 1st.
You're a grandparent as well?
Yes.
What is your favorite thing to do? What is your absolute favorite thing to do?
Dance.
Dance.
I love to dance because I feel good.
How early? How early did you start dancing?
I think my mother was dancing with me in her womb, watching the parades and things in the country. And I think I came into the world knowing that I wanted to dance. It made me feel good. It helped relieve my stress, exercise and dance and it created a new being in me when I leave from it. You can't, in other words, have you heard this song, Shut Up and Dance With Me?
Yes.
Well, see, you can't dance and talk.
Okay.
You can't do it unless you're sitting. You cannot dance and talk. So I tell them all the time, shut up and dance with me.
And you mentioned fitness. I was reading something about a biography from you, and it talked about a trainer, fitness
Yes.
trainer.
What I do is physical fitness. It's called body maintenance. And we work only on the ab because that's the core of your whole body. And the ab, we use 2 to 3 inches off of the waist every time you do it because you redirect your body muscle to help your back, to help you under
You can help me, okay?
Oh, we can help anybody.
Let's come back and do a fitness. That's a great idea. I'll have you come back and do some exercise with us one day.
love to
I won't
show.
put any leotards or anything on,
No,
but
get
a T-shirt.
comfortable. Just get comfortable. But the major part is putting oxygen into your body, breathing, your proper sitting, standing, modeling. And we let these things for your little girls. Mother had me in modeling, dancing, singing, everything you could name. I didn't want to play the piano, but I learned the music. So those things help us. We have to go back, because once a man, twice a child. So I'm once a lady, and now I'm a little girl. So at 60, I was 6. All the O. 61, 62, ooh, ooh, ooh. 63, 64, egg is big. And 65, I'm looking forward to it and waiting.
Well, you're Miss Senior Jefferson County, your platform, okay? What are you going to be doing out here in the community? Are you going to be out here speaking and encouraging? What are you going to be doing?
One of the things that I've done, I've done several. I spoke as the guest speaker with the grandparents program at Miss Janice Williams Church, who is with Austin Sanderson, and I have performed for a Party with a Purpose, with Councilman Hort, and I've danced at several churches. Yes, and we praise the Lord with Sandy Patty. And I'm looking forward to creating and developing and working with young people, being available to do programs in the arts to help with aggression, find new avenues where grandparents and grandchildren can come together with the holistic and artistic enrichment programs. Because
Say that again. Grandparents and grandchildren.
Right.
So that's younger people and older people coming together.
Right.
What is so rich about that?
What is so rich about that is because we have had an opportunity to observe where our mistakes were. We have had an opportunity to share wisdom and knowledge. Our children they have to be teachable now. If we didn't raise them before now, or they got their own minds, now my children were wanting me to teach them. I'm not going to raise you. I don't care what happened 14, 15 years ago. And the grandparents now, like I said, I'm grand, and grand is great. And you are going to meet another grandbaby. So, hey, get with the program.
I got
and
you.
we have to let them know that, hey, this is it, this is the way it is, and this is the way it's going to be.
So we're responsible. So
We're
that we're
responsible.
obligated, and that's a part of our job as we grow older, to teach the young.
To
Is that what you're
teach,
saying?
right, and to reinforce our parents, to reinforce our children. Being where I am in life, believe it or not, sometimes we as parents, we have to decrease in order to allow our children to increase. By me decreasing from all of the things that I have done in my track record, it allowed them to grow. Now they're in their 30s, and I remember where I was. Now they're needing that moral support I got from my parents, and it's sort of a transition line. The children are now looking for the grandparents, but at the same time, we must stay in a respect mode.
That's right.
This is your mother, this is your father, and please don't talk about me to them because you're talking about me somewhere in here. So why don't we sit down and work this thing out with the good Lord?
Well, I always have a bombshell question, and this, let me ask you this. What or how do you think we treat our senior citizens, our elderly, our older adults? How do you think, for the most part, we treat our elderly? Do you think we could do a better job? Do you think do we love them enough? Do you think we throw them away? How do you think we, especially in America in general, how do you think we treat our seniors? What kind of grade would you give us?
Well, I'd have to speak from my point of view. I'd have to talk about me. When I broke my leg in January 2015, my ankle, I just felt like, it wasn't enough. I felt like I began to feel like those that were sick and shut in. There was something, I couldn't get food. I couldn't get, my whole world changed. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to say I felt like a 7.
Interesting.
Because before that, it was grandmother 10. But once we regress, things seem to slip away.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, this is the way I felt. But at the same time, they loved me. But nobody can stop what they're doing. Life. You understand? Yeah.
Time, you're saying we don't have enough time?
No.
We're not spending enough time, per se? Or we...
I would say that there are different scenarios and different stories. So you'd have to percentage this.
Yeah.
You cannot statistically
That's right. And say all people. Yes, right.
Because there I spoke of me. But as a whole, teaching exercise programs to seniors, which I've done before with the Jefferson County Housing Authority and the programs, by doing these things, we find that that helped, them getting out and being a part of it. And I noticed how the families were connected with them, bringing them, because my mother was in there, and that's how I created the family programs.
Well, speaking of families, what do you think about family caregiving? I mean, those of us who, mom took care of me, or dad, so now it's my time to help care for them. What do you think about us, how we care for one another? Do you think we can, that's really good?
I consider it can be healthy, but we have to have programs, again, like I said, in place. We must realize that Jesus Christ did not carry that cross alone. And sometimes we subject ourselves. I have, let me say that, subjected myself to becoming passionate about it, like I am about my art. And passion is suffering, it's pain. You become that person. Jesus Christ became us, So learning and having information provided for us, and listening, your support, having a very good support team, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Say that again. Say that again.
I am not invincible. I am not Superwoman, and I am not autonomous. I'm me, and I have a life God gave me, and I have a choice to take care of you.
Okay.
But at the same time, you need to respect my care. Because a lot of the caregiver situations, we didn't create it. I did not create you. Probably if you took care of yourself, you would be in this case. But I love
you said that a little bit too fast. If you
you had eaten right, taken care, exercise, did the thing, I managed my diabetes. I get out of content when I don't do the right thing. So if you continue to do something, you create this, and then you want one to sacrifice.
Yes.
And so you have one person sacrificing, and that's Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to die on the cross. But, I'll help carry it. But he's already did that. And when we say we sacrifice, no, I don't sacrifice. Everything that we do is for love, because I love you. I do it because I love him. I do this for my son because I love him. It's not sacrifice. I haven't lost anything. I've gained so much because I found the good inside of it. And I accentuated it for betterment and creating the character that God would love me to be.
So, what do you want to be? What do you want people to say about you at the end of the day? What do you want to be known for?
What I want to be known for?
Yeah. Tell the audience. What do you mean? What do you want to be known? What do you want to be said about you?
What I like to be known for is every morning. I can just share this with you. Every morning I get up, I said, Lord, what can I do to be a blessing to you? And that means that I'm going to do things that are pleasing in his eyesight. Therefore, I don't put a limitation. I'm not going to allow you to give that feedback to me. And one of my favorite scriptures is, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is with me. Bless within me. Bless his holy name. So to be a blessing as I go through the day and touch someone's life in some special way, as I want them to say, that was Miss Loretta.
Yes.
And she loved me. And that's what the world needs. Just being in Christ and loving. Love conquers it all, you know? I have nothing. And we came in with nothing, we'll leave with nothing. We need no help to go away, but we need help to stay.
You heard it here on the Caregiving Doctor Show. Miss Senior Jefferson County 2015. And now I know why you won. I know why they cast that vote. And I want to see more of you. In fact, I'm interested in that whole exercise piece, especially for people 55 and older.
Yes.
Maybe you can come back and do some exercise demonstrations, help me and my achy bones and posture and core. But you heard it here on the Caregiving Doctor Show, and I've had a blast today. Will you come back again and see me, please?
Oh, yes. We'll work it.
We're going to work it.
Work it.
Hey, remember, I'm caring for you and your loved ones, too. You can find me on Facebook or thecaregivingdoctor.com. Hey, I've had a great day. Remember, I'm caring for you and your loved ones, too, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
The Caregiving Doctor Show is brought to you by the Caregiving Kids Academy, Little Leaders, Big Hearts, Lewis Harper Jr. and the Harper Agency, Sandra's Clothes Closet, Caregiving International Church, and the Caregiving Kids book series. Join us next week for another informative Caregiving Doctor Show.